शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये. Om. Dear friends, we were just trying to conclude the second chapter yesterday. Second chapter, that is the Sankhya Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. The last words on this Sankhya Yoga chapter. So I was just trying to say that Krishna has summarized what is called Jnana Yoga and what is called Karma Yoga in this particular chapter. So Karma Yoga is something which is recommended for everyone, whereas Jnana Yoga is something which is the next step. Maybe some people may go to that level, many people may not go to that level, 99.999% will not go to that level. And some people, of course, they know what it is, but they may not really realize it. Many people, they may know it. They may know, okay, there is what is called Jnana Yoga, there is what is called Jnani, there is what is called realized person, somebody like Ramana Maharshi, as I was saying yesterday. So, but all of us will not become Ramana Maharshis or Vivekanandas. So, many of us, okay, we know that it is there, but at a theoretical level we are aware, but practical level, okay, all our ego, etc., aham, mama, whether it really disappears, it is another question. So, Karma Yoga is something which is recommended for everyone, and Jnana Yoga is something which a person has to go through if he is a seeker. So, we can understand that Karma Yoga is at a primary level and Jnana Yoga is at a higher level. So, both these things have been told in this chapter called Sankhya Yoga. And now we come to the next chapter, that is the third chapter, that is called Karma Yoga. This is also very, very important. And many people have commented on this, both Jnana Yoga, that is Sankhya Yoga, and also Karma Yoga. Particularly if we see Balagangadhar Tilak, Tilak has written his huge volume of the Geeta, Geeta Rahasya. So he particularly dwells on this Karma Yoga only. So Karma is something, how a person has to conduct himself in society. So that is what is the crux of the thing. So in this Karma Yoga, if you see the overall, if I want to give a sort of overview before we really enter into that chapter, if I want to give an overview, what we see is the first section, if we divide into three sections, let us say, there are 43 verses. Altogether, there are 43 verses in this chapter. If we divide them into three sections, the first section is elaborating on Karma Yoga, what we saw earlier in second chapter. It is elaborating on Karma Yoga, and Krishna is adding some additional concepts called Yajna. Yajna again is not our ritual. We are familiar with Yajnam, so and so Yajnam, Sudarshana Yaga, Chandi Yaga, etc., etc. We are not talking about such things. Yajna is, Krishna is going to give a totally new definition for that Yajna. Then the next section, the second section, different levels of Karma Yogi. Different levels of Karma Yogi, that is the people who are practicing Karma Yoga, what are the different levels in that? So he is going to explain all those things. Then finally, he examines the last section, analysis of why exactly the human being does certain things which he is not supposed to do. He is running after things. He is doing all the evil deeds. Why is he doing? So the basic the basic point which he says is Kama Yesha Krodha Yesha. Rajoguna Samudbhava, Kama and Krodha. So that is desire, and when the desire is obstructed, fulfillment of desire is obstructed for any reason, that results in Krodha. So this Kama and Krodha are analyzed in the last section by Krishna. So this is the overview, basically elaboration of what is Karma Yoga and a new concept called Yajna, and different levels, different grades of these Karma Yogis, and again analysis of what is called Kama and Krodha. So this is what we are going to see in this third chapter. So now it starts with the question of Arjuna. The question of Arjuna, we have seen in this second chapter that Krishna described Jnana Yoga, Krishna also described Karma Yoga. Krishna said Jnana Yoga is something which is very, very superior, because Jnana Yoga, a person who realizes, he is Yesha Brahmi Sthiti, he is one with Brahma, he is one with that supreme reality. So which means he praised it. That is the highest goal. And he also talked about Karma Yoga. So naturally we also get a doubt, and similarly Arjuna also is getting a doubt. because you have told both Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. You praised that Jnana Yoga. You said that it is something which is superior to Karma Yoga. Then why are you asking me to go on this path of karma? And why are you not asking me to go to that path of Jnanam? So that is the problem. So the question is same. Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tat kim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. So, jayasi chet, if you say that this buddhi, mata buddhir janardana, buddhi is jnana. Buddhi and jnana are one and the same. Jnana yoga is again what is called Sankhya yoga. If you say that jnana yoga is something which is a jayasi, jayan means shreyan, that is something which is superior. If you say that this jnana yoga is something which is superior to Karma Yoga, then why are you asking me? Karmani ghora karma. He is using an expression called ghora. Ghora means terrible. So for this, two meanings have been given. Terrible, one meaning as we see in the context of Kurukshetra is Arjuna is now, he is being asked to fight. So that fight is going to lead to bloodshed, and that is something which is terrible. In that sense, it is ghora. Ghora, it also means that is karma which is leading to transmigration. Karma again is leading to some bondage, and then it is leading to transmigration. Transmigration means again taking a birth, again dying, again taking a birth, again dying, etc., etc. It is leading to that sort of cycle of birth and death. So, kim karmani ghore mam niyojayasi Keshava. Oh Keshava, why do you suggest that particular path to me? Mata buddhir janardana. There is an expression, he is addressing Krishna as Janardana. Janardana, I think in the beginning also I explained the meaning. Janardana, the meaning is Janan Ardayati iti Janardana. The etymological meaning of the word Janardana is one who troubles people. Janan Ardayati. One who causes problems to the people. How is the Lord causing problems to the people? Janan Ardayati. He punishes people. How does he punish people? That is karma phala danena ardayati. That is the explanation given. Because a person does some karma, and for that karma he invariably gets the result. So that means you do any karma, invariably there is a result. So in that way, a person cannot escape the result. Escape the result of that particular phalam. It may be good result or bad result. That is something which is inescapable. So from that point of view, he is called Janardana. Janan Ardayati Karma Phaladanena. By giving that karma phala without fail. Without fail, he is giving karma phala. So that is a sort of punishment to the people. So that is why he is called Janardana. So anyway, this question is clear. And Arjuna is further saying, Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tad ekam vada nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. This is also a very simple line. Vyamishreneva vakyena. That is, you are talking as though slightly mixed up. Vyamishrena. Mishranam, Mishranam means mixing up. Vyamishrena means you are talking as though you are mixing up these two things, and then you are making me confused. Buddhim mohayasiva me, making me confused. Tad ekam vada nishchitya. Nishchitya means surely, definitely, finally. You tell me you follow this. This is the thing which is to be followed. You tell me, nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. So Krishna, why did he say like that? Krishna basically he told about Atma Swarupa to convince Arjuna that what he is doing is something which is a very, very small. He is performing his duty in this great canvas called the whole universe. He is a very, very small peg. He is a very, very small cog in the whole wheel, and he is performing his duty. He said Atma is something which is not going today, etc., etc. And thereafter he said, okay, you do this karma yoga so that you will not accrue sin. So that is the reason why Krishna said about Jnana yoga and karma yoga. But unfortunately, Arjuna is saying, you tell me what is directly applicable to me. Because suppose you go to a doctor may suggest so many ways, so many types of solutions. So doctor is supposed to suggest a solution which is particularly suitable to a person. So Arjuna's position is like that. What is the level in which Arjuna is? So Arjuna is not in that higher level. Arjuna is still in that lower level only. So Krishna is going to suggest only that lower level. That is karma yoga only to him. So now for that, for the question of Arjuna, Krishna is replying, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Lokesmin, that is the third sloka, Lokesmin Vividha Nishtha Pura Prokta Maya Nagha Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena Yoginam Loke Asmin, Asmin Loke, that means in this loka, Dvividha Nishtha. Dvividha Nishtha means two paths. Two paths. Nishtha. Nishtha is a word which we have in all our Indian languages. Nishtha. He has got Nishtha in music. He has got Nishtha in mathematics. So Nishtha is, that is a dedicated attachment or dedicated application to a particular path. That is what is Nishtha. A dedicated application to a particular path is called Nishtha. So here, Jnana Nishtha, there are two types of Nishtha. In Sanskrit, Nishchayena Avasthanam. Nishchayena Avasthanam is Nishtha. That is to be dedicatedly pursue that thing. Then what are the two paths? Two paths are Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam. Karma Jnana Yogena Nishtha for Sankhya. That is for the people who are on the path of realization, or the people who are contemplative type, the people who are the men of action and men of contemplation, as we say. There are two types of people usually, men of action and men of contemplation. So for the people who are people of contemplation, those who want to know what is the reality, for those who are inquisitive, for those who do this Atma Vichara means that what is myself, what is the reality, the people who question and who deliberate on that. For them, this Jnana Yoga. And for all other people, Karma Yoga. Karma Yogena Yoginam. For all 99.999%, all this Karma Yoga is for the rest of the people. So he is saying about the two types of people. That is, so Jnana Yogena, the commentators here write, Atmanatma Viveka Jnanavatam. Those who want to know what is Atma and what is Anatma. So that is the Jnana Yogi. And Karma Yoga is Karma Eva Yoga. Karma itself is a yoga. Yoga means a path, a upaya. Karma is a means. Karma is a means for purification. So Karma Yoga is, the word yoga has to be understood as not our Patanjali yoga and all this yogasana and breathing, etc. Yoga means a upaya, a strategy, a means. So that is the meaning of yoga all through Geeta. Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Atma Sanyama Yoga. Yoga means a means, a particular way, a particular method. So that is how we have to understand it. So here what Krishna is saying is, there is what is called Karma Yoga, there is what is called Jnana Yoga. So Jnana Yoga is simply what is called Atma Vichara, that is contemplation on the nature of self. Whereas Karma is anything which is deliberately, which is consciously done by a particular person. It may be performing karma, or it may be even dhyana. Dhyana means meditation, or it may be some upasana. Upasana means, suppose the people they sit and then they keep on meditating on a particular type of god or goddess, doing that upasana. Then again bhakti. So all these things are consciously done by a person. So they are called, they all come under the category of karma only. They are all consciously done, so they all come under the category of this karma. Then in Atma Vichara, there is no such action. There is no such action, there is no such karma. It is simply just analysis. He just sits and then he quietly thinks. He may be listening. He may be listening to this Vedanta, and he will only do this contemplation. He will try to analyze. He will try to investigate what is the nature of self. So investigation, analysis. So that is what is important in this Jnana Yoga. And in this Jnana Yoga, there is no question of once Jnana Yoga fructifies, that is when he reaches that level of realization, that notion of I, mine, etc., go away. But in this Karma Yoga, all through it will be there, whether it is Bhakti Yoga. In this Bhakti Yoga, okay, God is there, I am the devotee. So all this I, mine, etc. is always there in this Karma Yoga. Whatever different types of Karma Yoga, that is Karma, Atma Sanyama, Dhyana, in all these things, this notion of I, mine, etc. is there. Whereas in this Jnana Yoga, final stage, it also disappears. So these are the things which we have to understand at this particular stage. So what we call the Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So in these three Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha and Kama, they are all needed in this Sadhana Dasha. Sadhana Dasha means when a person is doing that Enquiry, enquiry means for purification of mind. Enquiry, not Atma Vichara. I am not talking about Atma Vichara. Dharma, Artha, Kama, they all come under this sadhana dasha only. And moksha, that is the next level, that is Jnana Nishta. Moksha comes under Jnana Nishta, whereas other things come under Karma Yoga Nishta. And Karma Yoga is a sort of preparatory stage, as I said, for this Jnana Yoga. So, Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yoginam. So, that is the third shloka. We come to the next shloka. Next shloka again says, again Krishna continues, Na karmana manarambhat naishkarmyam purushosnute na cha sanyasana deva siddhim samadhigacchati. So, this shloka is again important. This again is something which has to be heard very, very carefully. So, here he is saying, by not doing karma, first of all I will explain in a different way. So, we are now saying, okay, there is what is called jnana path, there is what is called karma path. And when you are in this karma path, you are getting this karma phala. Suppose somebody says, no, I will not do any karma. I will just keep quiet. I will not do any karma. So, there is no such karma phala. I will automatically become a realized person. So, by not doing karma, and by not doing all these nishiddha karma, not only nishiddha karma, any type of karma, I will become a jnani. So, suppose a man thinks like that. So, for that, Krishna is saying, suppose a person sits like that, it is what is called a sin of omission. We know that there is what is called a sin of commission and a sin of omission. Sin of commission is doing something which is prohibited. Sin of omission is not doing something which is your duty, not doing something which is mandated for you. That is dereliction of duty. Suppose a grihastha is there. For a grihastha, honoring a guest, Atithi Puja, Atithi Yajna it is called. Suppose Atithi Yajna is there. Atithi Yajna is something which is mandated for a grihastha. Suppose a grihastha says, no, I am not doing it, I am now in the path of realization, I am not doing it. So that is a sin of omission. A person is mandated to do that and he is not supposed to skip that particular duty. So that is what Krishna is saying. Na karmana manarambhat naishkarmyam purushosnute. By saying I am not doing anything, that not doing anything also is a karma. That is sin of omission. By not doing anything, saying that, okay, I am not doing anything, is also a karma, because that kartrutva bhavana, the notion of I and mine is still there. That notion of I is still there. So long as that notion of I is there, so long as that kartrutva bhavana is there, whatever you do or do not do, that is karma. Even if you do, it is karma. Even if you do not do, also it is karma. So that is what is the meaning of this shloka. Na karmanam anarambhat. Anarambha means by not starting anything. Naishkarmyam purushaha ashnute. A person does not attain that actionless state. Naishkarmyam is a rather technical word in Vedanta. There is actually a book called Naishkarmya Siddhi. So Naishkarmyam means karma is action. Nishkarma is lack of action or absence of action. Naishkarmyam means that stage where there is total absence of action. So this word naishkarmyam or actionlessness is used in the case of a realized person. A realized person means a jnani who has identified himself with that supreme reality. So once he has identified with that supreme reality, he may be still performing some actions in society. As I said, I gave the example of a wave identifying itself with the ocean. A salt doll totally merging and losing its identity in the ocean. So a person who has totally lost his identity, and aham and mama, nirmama, nirahankara, so that person, he may be interacting with the world. Even if he is interacting with the world, he is not having that notion of I or mine. So, and not only that, because his mind is so totally purified, even prior to this level, his mind is already pure and he has no negative feelings. So such a man, he will be doing, all his actions will be in accordance with dharma only. So that is the state of actionlessness. He may be interacting, he may be doing various things. Of course, Krishna is going to give the example of King Janaka. King Janaka was supposed to be a realized king. And that realized king, every day he was also doing his administrative job. In spite of doing all the administrative job, it is all as good as actionlessness, naishkarmyam. because he has reached that level of perfection. He has reached that level of perfection in understanding reality, that whatever he does, it is not action. So we are talking at that level. Naishkarmyam does not mean sitting just like that, I am not doing anything, I will not do anything. Where that action, that ego is very much there, that notion of self is very much there. So that Naishkarmyam is referring to a state where the notion of self, notion of I has totally melted away. And then whatever action he does is not action. So we are referring to that level. That we will continue tomorrow, because it is a slightly difficult concept to understand initially. I will tell again tomorrow, I will repeat so that we can understand it properly. Harihi Om Tat Sat.